Coming up on Nittany Game Week.
I'm going to have to walk a really fine line because that's going to be a unique challenge.
New head coach Matt Campbell is trying to stay out of the way while the Nittany Lions prep for the Pinstripe. How he's working together with interim head coach Terry Smith to keep their bowl responsibilities separate.
Happy holidays, keep your spirits high, and don't be on the naughty list.
I got more toys, y'all.
A group of Nittany Lions volunteer for a shopping spree that benefits the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. Why they don't hesitate to sign up and help kids have a Merry Christmas. And we look back on our adventures on the road in 2025. We experience shared reality and a field of dreams following PSU from coast to coast. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside former Nittany Lions coaches Jay Santa Paterno and Tom Bradley. 'Tis the season to be jolly, and there is certainly reason for optimism with Coach Matt Campbell now in place as the head coach, and we certainly extend everyone our holiday greetings.
Absolutely. Great time of year.
Really good time, especially being next to Santa. I'm trying to barter for a good present here.
You are not on the nice list,
on the
Tom.
nice
You are not on the nice list.
That's a pretty long list of naughty people out there. So for the Campbell family, look, guys, it's more like It's a Wonderful Life may come to mind as they receive a warm welcome to State College for Coach Terry Smith. He's kind of like Home Alone in New York as they prep for the bowl game. We also take a look back at our adventures on the road in our opening drive. Well, Christmas in New York is a unique experience. Just ask Kevin McAllister. That's where the Nittany Lions finished their 2025 season at Yankee Stadium versus Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl. This is video from the Big Apple in their previous trip to the Pinstripe when they beat Boston College in 2014. While the new guy, Matt Campbell, deals with the big picture issues and a roster rebuild, Coach Terry Smith is in charge of the immediate future and the bowl game, Jay.
I think they did a nice job with that, and that, Matt is giving Terry the room he needs to finish the season and kind of observe and learn about this team. And Terry gets a chance to lead this team out one more time. I think that's really going to be nice for everybody.
And Tom, Christmas week in a different location with your football team, what is that like?
You know, I always thought it was interesting because you come back from the bowl game and they all talk about they got to spend time with someone they never really knew because they're all in one place together. It's really something.
It's an experience they'll never forget. Coach Campbell and Coach Smith are working together to handle the separate responsibilities.
We'll figure out, Terry and I, where's the best place, that I can not be a hindrance to this team. It allows me to be able to really start to kind of build for this 26 team and yet still be around. And again, that relationships piece really start to develop that relationship with our players. So I'm going to have to walk a really fine line because that's going to be a unique challenge.
We have our work cut out for us to play against Clemson, but we're going to put a product out there on the field that's representative of Penn State, and we're going to play really hard and play really tough, and we're going to get after it, and then the result will be the result, but the next man up has to deliver the job.
Well, no telling how many guys will opt out before kickoff. The game against Rutgers is the last time you'll see players like Nick Singleton in action for the blue and white.
And Singleton's part of a senior class that was very much in the giving spirit during their careers. A lot of winning moments, Tom, that they had over the years, and a lot to look back at and be proud of.
I'm starting to feel old here because I recruited Terry out of high school. So now that he's the head coach, it's come full cycle.
Yeah, and a lot of changes in a few short years when you look at what's happened with this year's group of seniors. Who would have thought you could play in the Fiesta Bowl, beat Boise State, and then face Notre Dame less than 2 weeks later in the Orange Bowl? Of course, this year did not go the way they expected, but it's fun to watch them compete in the blue and white, Jay.
No question, and certainly at the beginning of the year, a lot of people thought Clemson and Penn State would be playing the postseason. Not in the Pinstripe Bowl, but again, this is how things happen. And it's not what happens to you in life, it's how you react to it.
Well, Katron Allen's pursuit of the all-time rushing record, certainly a highlight. One the offensive linemen take great pride in as well. And Terry Smith shines bright as he lifts up the team and fan base when things were very bleak. And you both understand as coaches, the road trips are an adventure for a number of reasons. It takes until October to play somewhere other than Happy Valley. Eventually, this year's schedule takes us coast to coast. The very first trip away from home is all the way to Cali for a shared reality experience at Cosm in Los Angeles. If you're not at a game in person, this is the future of fan experiences. Puts you right next to the action for any sport. Unfortunately, we saw the UCLA game in person the next day, and the result does not seem like reality. The defense simply can't stop the Bruins, and they become the first team ranked in the top 10 to fall to a winless opponent with at least 4 losses in 40 years. The next trip is to Iowa. And while the team endures a nightmare stretch, we visit the Field of Dreams movie site. Lots of mystique in the cornfields in Dyersville. Almost some magic at Kinnick Stadium as the Nittany Lions fight hard for interim head coach Terry Smith in his first game at the helm. They try to go the distance, but problems with the running QB plague them once again, this time against the Hawkeyes. After a bye week, it's back on the road to battle Brutus and the #1 ranked Buckeyes. Big noon kickoff crew tees it up for a national audience in Columbus. Ohio native Ethan Grunkemeyer holds the offense steady and keeps them within striking distance at the half. Ohio State takes the top off after the break and targets a pair of wideouts that will leave any defense in the dust. Familiar location, familiar result. The losing streak stretches to 6 games before they take the field in East Lansing. Grit, determination, and sheer willpower along the line of scrimmage is what it takes to vanquish the Spartans. In the end, an unforgettable ride from the sidelines for Coach Smith, and the beautiful rivalry trophy returns to its rightful home. Finally, pay your tolls and take a ride to Piscataway to face the Scarlet Knights in Jersey. A bowl game is on the line, and the Nittany Lions pick up on the opportunity. Amari Campbell scoops up a fumble and sprints for the winning score. They lock it down with one final 4th down conversion and end the regular season on a 3-game win streak. Final destination for 2025 is New York City. Before we discuss the Pinstripe Bowl, we remember the Alamo. Our coaches discuss the happy ghosts of bowl games past. In our scouting report, more Nittany Game Week is on the way.
The opening drive is sponsored by R&R Express. Every shipment moved contributes to autism research and inclusion through the Excel Foundation. Learn more at wearerr.com. Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. There have been a number of variations of the classic tale, A Christmas Carol, through the years. Scrooged with Bill Murray, one of my personal favorites. Coach Bradley, Coach Paterno, most years end up with a postseason game over the holidays. But you're taking us on a trip to visit the ghosts of December bowl games past.
And these are happy ghosts, and certainly Penn State fans thought they'd be in the playoff, but it's a December bowl game, and December bowl games can often create great memories and springboard you into the next season, and hopefully that's what will happen here. Let's go back a few years, Tom. I was not alive, but 1959 December in the Liberty Bowl in Philadelphia, Alabama comes up to play Penn State. Last play before the half, Roger Kaufman is lined up here in a field goal. You can't see the kicker up. Apparently they didn't have wide lenses back then. But he's going to fake here. They're going to rush the kick. They're going to slip a couple guys out. And Galen Hall, Tom, rolls to his right and throws it back for a touchdown.
Because I was on the staff with Galen, I heard about this play many a times. So
no question.
I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, so, Galen had not practiced the play. Richie Lucas got hurt right beforehand, never practiced the play, and it was the only score in a 7-0 win. Now, let's stay in the Liberty Bowl. Let's fast forward 20 years. Joel Coles comes in for Kurt Warner. The Tulane defense is not aware that Joel can throw the ball a little bit. They run the halfback pass from Frank Rocco, who is the quarterback. He rolls to his left and makes a throw, Tom. And, you've known Joel for years.
I've known Joel for years. Got to actually play with him 1 year when I was a senior. He was a freshman. Joel's from Penn Hills High School, and just a heck of an athlete. And what a great throw, huh?
Yeah, if he had put the throw out a little bit better, we wouldn't have the drama of waiting for Herb Menhardt to come on and kick the game-winning field goal. But a 9-6 win over Tulane. And Liberty Bowl was in Memphis at that point. It had moved. Now, let's fast forward 1 year later. Kurt Warner, Penn State, top 10 matchup in the Fiesta Bowl on December 26th. Warner is a first-rounder. Blackledge was a first-rounder. Booker Moore was a first-rounder. Sean Farrell was a first-rounder. Kenny Jackson was a first-rounder. A lot of talent. They run the power play to the left. Kurt Warner takes it left, sees the hole go to the right, and breaks the thing open. Tom, talk about the speed of the guys on the field there.
this group of athletes at Penn State right there, that offense, there was incredible talent on that team.
Let's take a look at some pants from the 1983 Aloha Bowl. The game was not that exciting, but Penn State won late 13-10 over Washington. But that is the thing that haunts me to this day. My mom could not believe he was actually wearing them and thought he was kidding. He went out the door with those pants and his black Nikes, and that's what we had to live with. Now, let's get past that, please, as quickly as we can. And let's talk about 1989, the Holiday Bowl. Gary Brown had moved from running back to defensive back to fill some holes in the secondary that year before moving back and becoming an NFL back. Gary blitzes what we call the hero fire back then. The linebacker drops out of there. They give a different look. The Outland Trophy winning tackle from BYU can't make the block, Tom. And what an exciting moment this was.
You don't win many games where you give up 39 points that day, was it?
39 points.
39 points.
39
and we won
points.
a game.
Let's go forward to the Alamo Bowl in 07. We talk about how you put some wrinkles in. Darrell Clark we put in as a Wildcat. Starting quarterback Anthony Morelli's here. Derek Williams comes around, fake the triple option, pull the backside tackle, Gerald Cadogan, and Darrell Clark gets north and south in a hurry. And you remember what kind of runner this guy was.
No question about it. He was something, he was special. And being a defensive coordinator, boy, was I glad we scored that.
No question. And the ball did cross the plane, and it stood up over replay. He still got a talking to from the head coach about protecting the football. Now, let's go on to the next one. Now, let's talk about the last time Penn State was in the Pinstripe Bowl. Penn State ends up with Fickens lining up for the game-winning extra point after BC missed theirs in overtime. And Tom, how exciting is to walk off a bowl game like this?
I don't think people know how much you appreciate it because so many things can go wrong. You know, the snap, the hold, the kick. There's a lot of different things, and you're just over there holding your breath. If you're the special team coach, please make this go through.
Yeah, it's like a gimme putt, but for guys like me, there are no gimme putts. So he made it. Great way to end the season in the first bowl game Penn State had been in a couple of years.
Thank you, coaches. We can always use some holiday cheer. And only a few more shopping days left until Christmas. A group of Nittany Lions football players already got their shopping done. They volunteered to help West Shore Home with a shopping spree to benefit the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. Ryan Yee shows how the team is spreading that holiday cheer.
Let's go. A team effort to make thousands of kids' holiday wishes come true.
Penn State football, joined with the Marines here at Ollie's for Toys for Tots.
You got the muscle, you had the organization, you got the support from West Shore Home. There you go.
Marines, we got the football players, we got our team here at West Shore Home, and we're just thrilled that we'll be able to help out.
Penn State football, the U.S. Marines, and West Shore Home teamed up for their Toys for Tots shopping spree.
Yeah, all the kids like Hot Wheels.
$6,000 worth of toys collected and packed to put a smile on tens of thousands of kids' faces.
Just seeing what it's done so far, the faces that I've gotten for people picking up toys for children in the community, it's been fantastic.
What do you got there? Good pick. Yeah, great pick.
For the players, it's a perfect opportunity to lend a helping hand while getting into the holiday spirit.
It's so important because, not all kids are, as, blessed as we are to, have the Christmas that we could all imagine. It hurts my heart. Some kids not able to have that, so I wanted to do the best I could to give that to those kids out there.
I always, had that mindset of when I grow up, I'm going to be the one to give him back and stuff like that. So just knowing that I know what that feels like, not being able to get something, just giving back just feels amazing.
And there are no shortage of toys here at Ollie's to choose from for some lucky kids coming up this holiday season. But when you involve D1 athletes, shelves empty pretty quick and a lot faster than expected.
They got this shopping done in no time tonight. In under an hour, they were able to get $6,000 worth of toys. They were a huge help, and they had fun doing it.
A reflection of how a small deed can go a long way this holiday season.
I got more toys, y'all.
For Nittany Game Week, I'm Ryan Yee.
Thank you, Ryan. Up next, we'd like to thank you tune in every week just to see us, but we know our interview guests steal the show. Not everything they say can be squeezed into the program. We add a little extra to our interview segment. Nittany Game Week returns after this.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
We are back on Nittany Game Week. When it comes to fulfilling a wish list, we certainly get a chance to talk to some of the most interesting and influential people in the college football world and in Penn State football history. Now, it's impossible to squeeze all these conversations into our 30-minute window, so we wanted to show you a few of the responses that you haven't seen, and that includes former NFL and Penn State defensive lineman Anthony Spice Adams discussing his non-football conversations with Coach Paterno.
Anybody could coach me up on football. Like, that was easy. But the fact that I was in his office more times than not, and we would never talk about football. It was always about how to tie a tie, or how to save your money, or how to be punctual. Why you have to be punctual, like all these different things that had nothing to do with football. And I just respect him that much more because this was everything that I needed to know as a man. And I think he knew, like, he didn't have a lot of time to, teach me this, because it's 100 kids coming every year, so why keep singling me out and having me here in your office? There must be a reason. And that reason was he was teaching me how to be a man. He was teaching me how to function out here in the real world, because it's going to be bigger than football. And so I just respected him so much for that. Me entrusting him with success and honor, the grand experiment. He was so instrumental in me becoming a man. And he was just one of those great coaches, man, who he cares about you as a person more so than as a player.
So before there was a Biletnikoff Award, there was the Paul Warfield Trophy, went to best wideout in the country, which you won in 1992. You're in the Dolphins Walk of Fame. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. So what things in your career meant the most to you, and what do you miss all these years later?
Well, I joke now, Jay, about, only fun days in football now are Sundays and paydays, so I kind of miss all that stuff, but the rest they can keep, man. But, honestly, just the opportunity that I got to play in the NFL. As a child, you always dream of playing in the league, but then you're always worried about the next steps, junior high football, high school football, being able to get a scholarship to go to Penn State or wherever, some of these young men get to go. And then you get to realize that childhood dream, man. But just getting drafted in April of '93, that was such a huge accomplishment for me and my family, man. It just meant the world to us.
As you look at the changing landscape of football, college football and basketball, what is good about it, and what concerns you as we keep going forward here?
The first thing that's good about it is that the players are making money. And the reason I say that is I think it makes it a more honest enterprise. It is, and that's what it is. It's a business, and it has been for a really long time. So there is something that is more honest about allowing the players to also make money, not create this, false sense of student athlete as if somehow those things are mutually exclusive and somehow it's sullied if you make money. That's sort of a preposterous notion if you really stop and think about it. So I think that's the good thing. But with every good thing, there come challenges. And I think the challenges are that I think it's harder sometimes for players and coaches to identify who's really in it for the love of the sport and who has been distracted. I think everybody that starts playing, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, these kids today, they don't love it the way they did in 75. But I do think that because heck, I'm 59 years old, I get distracted by things. I wander. I mean, the Bible, the Apostle Paul talks about, I want to do one thing and I wind up doing the other, right? So there's no age limit on that. But I think young people are particularly susceptible to being distracted. And I think sometimes that even great athletes can go into situations and they get distracted by, well, this person's getting more than me, or this team tells me they're going to pay me more, or we lost a couple of games early and now I don't know, is this the best place for me? The downside of it is I think some of the connective tissue that you get from staying at a place for a period of time can be lost.
Lots of fun hearing the great stories from former players and getting insight from some of the top broadcasters in the sport. You can find all of our Impact interviews on our website at NittanyGameWeek.com. Don't go anywhere, still have a scrap medal to hand out along with this week's trivia question and Pride Picks. Our holiday celebration of Penn State football continues in a moment as we head into the final minutes of Nittany Game Week.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Scrap Metal is sponsored by Burke and Bradley Orthopedics. Located in Pittsburgh, Burke and Bradley Orthopedics is a comprehensive sports medicine practice, providing patients with the most current and innovative approaches in diagnosis and treatment.
And now here's Tom with a very special message to Penn State fans.
The players change, the coaches change. Even the stadium is now undergoing a change. The one constant for the program is the great fans. 6 wins, 6 losses, not the season everyone expected back in August. Sure, they voiced their displeasure, but Penn State fans are sticking together and rallying behind new head coach Matt Campbell and the Nittany Lions, and for that support, we're giving the fans the Scrap Metal Award this year.
It's trivia time. Last week's question. Penn State has played in 3 previous bowl games in the Northeast. What teams did Penn State win in those matchups? The answer, Alabama, Oregon, and Boston College. Our winner, Ed Sirianni of Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania. This week's question, which eventual Heisman Trophy winning quarterback holds the national record for total offense and passing yards in a bowl game in a losing effort against Penn State?
One thing we love to do is bring PSU fans and alumni together with our Nittany Connect network at NittanyGameWeek.com. We partner with businesses that support the show and let our viewers know about their great products and professional services. So make sure to check out NittanyGameWeek.com for all of our web exclusive content. That's airtimes for all of our network of stations, previous episodes, and interviews that can all be found at one convenient location. That would be NittanyGameWeek.com. And while you're there, check out the Pride Picks. Make sure to show us your spirit. Submit some of your own. Maybe they're with Santa. Who knows? We always end the program with Penn State fans wearing the blue and white and Jay wearing the Santa coat for this particular episode. For Jay and Tom, I'm Todd. Thanks for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.